Hello everybody, my name is KingStix and I have a brand new Twitch jungle commentary guide for you. I've been building Twitch a little bit different recently. I'm not really building Blade of the Rune King anymore because overall it doesn't give Twitch that much damage and it's fairly expensive. I found that going for Last Whisper right after my Hurricane gives me a lot more bang for my buck and I can shred tanks a lot harder. Not to mention my jungle item does quite a bit of AD as well. Starting off, getting a leash on our red buff, very classic start on Twitch. At this point, you just go to your blue, then Gromp, gank level 3. I would gank mid, but my Galio is pushing in the Lissandra really hard, so the no point in me actually going over there, I just waste time. I used my Q to get over here faster to the plant and then shoot myself in, because a lot of the time enemy junglers try to fuck with me whenever I pick Twitch jungle. Sure enough, Sejuani of all people is over here trying to mess with me. She's a tank jungler, she has very little kill securing power and very little burst. I don't know why she's trying to mess with me, plus I'm range. Right now, I am actually dealing with this Galio. It's my buddy Tricky. So I just tell him to come over here. I try to get behind her, lead her right into Galio. I figured she wasn't even looking on the mini-map. She's getting out of range, so I'm going to flash, keep autoing with my red buff on. For some reason, she hasn't flashed yet, and then she flashes at the worst possible time whenever I press my E. Going to chase down Lissandra. Whenever she sees me, she does flash away. So we get 2 flashes and a kill. I probably should have just ran over to Sejuani's blue buff since I knew it was up and taken it, but I really wanted this kill on Lissandra, but she was playing like a total wuss. So I'm just going to go over to my blue buff since I know Sejuani's going to get to it too fast, take my blue, and my Gromp is up as well. I also have 2 smites up. I'm actually not going to use this one since I already had the blue buff dead. I found that Gromp is one of the best camps to smite because it does so much damage, and also you can't lead it around very much because otherwise it will reset. I probably should have gone around, but I was a little bit scared of that cannon wave. I'm just going to throw my W behind her, run up right to her next to my teammates, get off a solid amount of autos, then press E. It would have killed her because I had red buff and a bunch of damage on her, but she did use her heal, so it was a fine gank. As long as I get us at least one summoner out of them, it was definitely worth it. Going to use the speed up, go invisible before I get too close to any ward spots. So now even if she did ward this area, she wouldn't have seen me. I'm going to try to get up close to her, do some damage. I'm waiting for Galio to go in. Toss down my W, start autoing her, getting off some solid damage even though I am level 3, auto E. Galio does get the kill, which is unfortunate. On jungle Twitch, you want to try to KS and get as many kills as possible because you're all about snowballing to get your items. Me and Galio are going to back now. I found in general on jungle Twitch that it's best to pick him whenever your mid laner can outshove the enemy mid laner. For example, you want things like Karma, Galio, Syndra, things that can really shove in the enemy mid laner hard and support you. So here I pink for my mid laner. My buddy's going to come over here and pinch off this Sejuani. For some reason, she's playing super aggro. I'm going to auto her, go invisible, chase down W. Keep doing autos until she gets out of my auto attack range, and then I will press my E to secure the kill. Now that she's dead, I'm going to go into her jungle and try to steal her camps, but she's apparently already taken them. Since I'm already here, I'm going to come up behind Lissandra while invisible, hoping Galio will land some CC. He's trying to chase her down. She makes a bad turn, getting taunted. Get off my W, smite, auto, and an E. She doesn't quite die because I'm level 4 and I don't quite have the damage, but if I got off one more auto attack, she definitely would have died. It was a little bit unlucky, but we did send her home. Gonna do the wolf camp now since I am full HP and I have some items. Doing my level 2 camps isn't that big of a deal. Go invisible, lead it around, do some damage. Whenever your Q is up and you're not about to go gank a lane after doing a camp, like you're going to do another camp, it's okay to use your Q on it because it will give you attack speed and you can lead it around a little bit better, get some better positioning off. I've started to go straight for Blood Razor without getting boots because you really need the damage on Twitch. I see Lissandra is bot. Whenever the enemy mid laner rotates bot and you're in the area, just go ahead and take their mid turret. We're forcing her to teleport. She's coming back in with no ultimate. I'm just going to keep auto attacking her. We do kill her. I do have to burn my flash though. A really important mistake that I made there was I started attacking her before Galio actually hit her. Even though he taunted her before I hit her, a taunt doesn't make the turret aggro. You actually have to damage them. So slows, taunts, anything that can make them stop moving but doesn't actually hurt them won't make the turret aggro you, which is actually kind of lame. Technically, I was the first person to do damage to her under turret. Therefore, the turret aggroed me and I took a lot of damage, forcing me to blow my flash. I am now level 6 and now level 7. I have my ultimate. My ganks are going to be a lot stronger. Throw down my W behind her. Pop my ultimate, smite Leona, keep moving and shooting her non-stop. Even if I take a few turret shots, it's okay. Sejuani comes in, so I have to back off. I'm in a bad situation here. I really need Galio to come over here and help us. They're all going in on me now. Even if they do kill me, we'll kill several of them, especially now that Galio's here. Trist with the jump, pick up the kill on Vayne. We can take Dragon for free now because the enemy bot lane is dead or backing. Also, Sejuani is very low. Enemy mid lane turret is very low on HP, so it will be an easy first turret, which is a lot of extra gold. Every bit of extra gold you can get on Twitch is great. Don't feel too bad about taking your laner's minions on Twitch jungle, because if you know what you're doing, you can really carry the game. Especially with someone like Tank Galio mid, whenever I take his CS, it's not that big of a deal. Also, an important thing to note is whenever you're in the area and your laner's getting shoved in and they have to back because they're too low, it's okay to go there, take the CS, because it'll put you really far ahead in XP and gold. Lissandra's looking pretty tasty right now, so I'm just telling my Galio in voice chat, hey, stop pushing the lane, I want to come gank her. I wait till my invisibility's up, I go invisible, now I'm just going to simply walk out, wait till he goes in, throw W behind her, keep up my auto attacks. She gets off a great ultimate, which prohibits me from killing her, gets off damage, and I don't quite get the kill. Galio's going to pick her up and now run for his life. It was really random that Vayne came, considering her turret is up for grabs. Tristana could easily pick it up and get first turret right now. So I don't really understand that play on her part. She just randomly went mid. It didn't make much sense in my opinion. So now Tristana is going to get first turret, which is overall beneficial for our team, and Vayne did also die. Whenever your red buff's up on Twitch, you typically want to get it because it makes your ganks way stronger. So just tell your teammates to wait, let you get the red buff. It's also really important to get red buff on Twitch because if you don't, oftentimes enemy junglers will counter jungle you and take it from you whenever they know it is up, because it's like taking a blue away from Fiddlesticks. It's just really important. I'm trying to get off as many slows as possible. I don't really have the damage to kill Sejuani, but I'm trying to get the slows on Tryndamere for Galio to chase him down, which he does, picking up the kill. My next play is actually really bad. Me and Galio should have just stayed and taken the turret or backed off altogether. Here I see the plants taken, so I know an enemy was recently here. I keep walking anyways, really stupid choice. And of course, Lissandra was waiting for me. She gets off loads of damage even with the Galio ult, ignites me, and I die. Whenever you see the plant missing like that and you see a Scuttle still eating the fruit, you know that that fruit was freshly picked, so you gotta be careful. I went for Berserker Greaves instead of Tabbies because the enemy team has quite a bit of tankiness with the Sejuani Leona. I like to go Greaves whenever they're tanky. Gonna come up behind them, get an AoE W onto them, keep autoing them, pick up the Lissandra since she can CC me, stay on the Tryndamere with my slows. Unfortunately, Tryndamere ghosted and I can't really keep up with that. I want to get to the bush just in case he crosses over so I can ult him, but I kind of mess up and he runs the other way anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. I wanted to ult and shoot him over the wall whenever he ran that way, but he took the long way around. He's pretty smart. Gonna pick up that wave, and I like to get my Blood Razor and Berserker Greaves whenever they're really tanky. If they're really squishy, I like to go for my Boots of Mobility because overall they'll give me better positioning in a fight. And then after that, if they got tanks, I'll go for Last Whisper. If not, I'll go straight into Infinity Edge and get more damage. Here, Leona's trying to push us off. I'm not quite sure what she's thinking. I'm going to just do my best to try to smite it. Galio does pick it up, so maybe it is smart of Leona to have been there. Pop my ultimate, try to get off as many autos as possible. Lissandra's kind of freaking me out though, and I also don't know where Tryndamere is, so I'm trying to play a little bit safe. Lissandra goes in on us. Luckily, Galio's tanking like 3 of them, so I throw down my W to zone, keep shooting her, auto onto the Sejuani, and since they don't have the rest of their team, they can't really fight us. I go invisible, and I'm looking for the Vayne right now. I went to check the bush, but she ran all the way back. We got 2 kills, and Galio died, plus I got red buff. Since we just killed Sejuani, I'm going to go into her jungle and start taking her camps. Whenever you kill the enemy jungler, it's a good time to check their camps and take them. My red buff was up, and I didn't get it, so of course, Tryndamere got it. Auto attack, auto attack. Sejuani jumps in to try to stop us. I'm getting off a lot of slows onto her, but she's just a little bit too quick, especially with her passive. Leona's getting a lot of ground on us, so I tried to auto her, slow her down a little bit, and I was juking like crazy, trying to dodge her ultimate. Luckily, Timo did flash it, so we both get out of there. I'm going to wait for Vayne, cut her off. I know if she condemns me, she's going to get away, but I want to get off some solid damage on her and push her out of this upcoming fight. The fight's starting to break out, and if they don't have Vayne, Galio's way too tanky and they just can't kill him. So they never really had a chance in that fight. They didn't realize it, but they didn't. So Leona and Lissandra go down. We're going to just push in mid since we have a kill advantage. Lissandra's coming in. Galio's going back. Since we only have 1 tank, I typically have to position towards the back and wait till the enemy's engaged on my team, and then I can open up with my ultimate and get off a lot of damage. Twitch's ult is very similar to a Fiddlestick's ult. It's typically best used once the enemy team engages on your team. Granted, it's not best when they engage on you because then they'll CC you, but whenever they engage on your team, that's typically when it's best to use your ult, assuming you're not on the front line of your team. It's not always the best to use it that way. Sometimes when you're really fed, it's best to position off to the side in a flanking maneuver and shoot them kind of from behind or a little bit off to the side to get a better angle. I throw W to come out invisibility. I activate my ult and get kind of confused, so I just stand in one spot and shoot the whole time. Luckily, my teammates had a lot of CC with the Galio, and I pick up a couple of kills. I don't usually get confused, but sometimes whenever I'm playing really late at night and I forget to press spacebar in a team fight, I kind of lose track of where I am and I panic. Luckily, Twitch's ult gives me such insane range. Even though I stood still, I got off a lot of damage and we conquered the fight. We pretty much just aced them, so it was a great time to pick up Baron. Whenever you ace the enemy team or get more than 2 kills, you really want to be looking to take heavy objectives like Baron and Inhibitor because you can force it at this point in the game. I'm going to face Trindimer and auto attack him. I got lucky and he didn't get off the slope because I happened to be shooting him at that moment. Galio's tanking. I activate ult and just start ripping until then Vayne walks up, gets shredded. I'm going to turn on to the Lissandra, stand in one spot a little bit, and get off even more damage. Since I had my Soraka behind me, I wasn't too worried about dying. I was mostly trying to stay up far enough that way I could get kills. Whenever you're not worried about dying, just keep trying to move forward. That way they can't get away. And that's pretty much going to wrap up this game, guys. After the 20-minute mark on Twitch, you really need to play around your ultimate. Whenever your ultimate isn't up, you're really short range and you can die really easily in team fights. 1 CC and you're honestly dead. Don't be afraid to take a laner CS, especially whenever the enemy laner backs. That way you can shove in the wave, get golden XP, and also the enemy laner will lose out on a lot of minions since your minions are going to crash against their turret and die. Also, when you play Twitch jungle, try to duel with somebody. It's not necessary, but if you don't duel with somebody, you're going to lose a lot more games and you're also going to have to dodge more often. The reason I like to duel when I play Twitch jungle is because I like to communicate with my teammate because Twitch has so much damage and he's so sneaky that communication really is key. Also, whenever I duel somebody, I can tell them to pick a tank, as Twitch with a tank is really OP. You don't want to play Twitch on an all squishy comp. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah.